Hi guys, I'm Stephanie and this is Inside Out. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So the first question I always get asked when people learn that there are any dietary restrictions is, what can't I eat? Now that is a huge question, but it does come down into three simple categories. Firstly, the foods that I completely avoid. They cause such severe symptoms that there is no point in eating them. And they are things that I just say no to completely. Category 2 are foods that I don't eat regularly. They are on the list of foods to avoid if you have any of these gut problems, but providing I maintain sensible eating habits at home, I can eat these foods occasionally when I go out and basically not really have any problems. Category 3, foods that I can get away with more regularly in small amounts if I'm sensible. They are still foods that I should avoid with my gut problems. But yeah, I can get away with them on a more regular basis if I eat them at sensible times and in sensible quantities, and providing the rest of my diet is sensible as well. So I'm going to start with the foods in category 1. These are the foods I cannot eat. I just can't eat them. That is the end of it, I can't eat them. And first and foremost, that is fried foods. Now fried foods encompass a lot of different foods, whether it's fried chicken, whether it's chips from a chip shop, anything battered fish or battered sausage, horrendous. That is probably the worst thing. And it's those greasy fried foods that cause me the most problems. If I was to eat a fish and chips, oh man, the symptoms would be unbearable. And those symptoms are everything from chest pain because my esophagus has become so irritated, indigestion, real burning heartburn, to the extent that you can't breathe. Swelling in the gut that makes you look about 6-7 months pregnant. So much air and gas inside you that you can only really do shallow breaths. It is horrendous. And of course, all of that affects the hiatal hernia as well, which makes it feel like your gut is expanding into your chest even further. It makes your heart pound in your chest. You really do feel like you're gonna die. It is horrendous. Anyway, so fried foods, and that includes things like donuts or any like sausage rolls, greasy pastries. So if you have something that's greasy, even those soft big cookies, if you put it on a piece of paper and a few moments later it's greasy, it is a huge no. But that is mainly fried foods and pastry. Secondly, caffeine. Now caffeine comes in a lot of things. It's not just in tea and coffee. It's also in things like chocolate. But caffeine, before I had the hiatal hernia and the GERD symptoms, I was off caffeine for a long time. It's been one of the things, it increases my heart rate to an extent that I can feel it fluttering in my chest. And this is a hereditary thing. It does the same to my dad. It kind of makes us all lightheaded and dizzy. It does the same to my grandmother as well. So yeah, caffeine. But obviously, that just increases the symptoms. So I avoid coffee, and coffee itself, even decaffeinated black tea or coffee, they kind of cause problems as well. Even green tea, because that contains caffeine. So yeah, when it comes to drinks, I kind of avoid anything with caffeine in. Next up would be carbonated beverages. Now I know I'm slipping into beverages here, but it's the same sort of thing. Fizzy stuff, it's horrendous. And that often includes alcohol, to be honest. I could get away with a small beer, but I'll wish I hadn't, to be fair. Also in this category 1 is spicy foods. The main problem with spices, especially the hotter spices, is that they irritate the esophagus. So if you've had anything that's caused a little bit of acid and your esophagus isn't up to its optimal health, adding spicy foods will really irritate that. And then that's when you get the chest tightness and the difficulty breathing and the pain down your arms and everything that makes you feel like you're having a heart attack, even though you know you're probably just irritated your esophagus. So that includes things like black pepper. And that is a nightmare because black pepper is found in everything. It is your basic staple seasoning, salt and pepper. Salt is fine, black pepper is horrendous, really irritates my esophagus no end. But things like paprika, which like a year ago I could have managed. I've got smoked paprika in my cupboard that I used on a regular basis. But at the moment, because of the way my condition is, yeah, chili, paprika, nutmeg even, and black pepper cause me horrendous problems. Category 2, these are the foods that I eat occasionally, and providing I maintain a sensible diet at home, I can get away with them. Firstly, we have tomatoes and acidic fruit. Your citrus fruits and tomatoes, they're all really, really acidic, so that extra acid isn't something I need when my stomach kind of produces plenty enough of that anyway, and yeah, likes to put it in places it shouldn't be. I don't buy tomatoes at home, and again, that's a shame. A year ago, I was eating tomatoes every day. But yeah, I don't eat them anymore. But if I go out somewhere and someone has cooked tomatoes, or if I go to a party, or if I go to someone's house for a meal, I can eat a meal with tomatoes in and not have any problems. Again, like I said, providing that I don't eat them on a daily basis, it's not an issue. The same applies with citrus fruits. I can eat them once a week, say, maybe twice a week in small quantities, providing I haven't eaten anything else that will irritate my stomach. Crisps. Now, crisps is a tough one. I can't eat a whole bag of crisps. If I eat a whole bag of crisps, I'll have problems. What I can do is if we go out somewhere to the pub, for example, and I'm having a J2O, if there's a few bags of crisps on the tables between friends, then I can have some of those crisps and that'll be okay. If I was to eat an entire bag of crisps to myself, or I couldn't eat, for example, big greasy crisps like McCoy's, or even the hand-cut crisps because they're so greasy, yeah. But if there's a few crisps, that's okay. Baked crisps I've tried, they kind of cause the same sort of problems. I can get away with pea snaps. We do have those occasionally. But yeah, they seem to be fine. As long as I just have the salted ones, I can get away with a bag of those. Chocolate. Now, chocolate I adore. I absolutely love it. I'm not keen on white chocolate, but I do love milk chocolate, and I especially love dark chocolate. Now, chocolate basically relaxes the lower sphincter of the esophagus, which is what kind of opens at the wrong time to allow that acid to come back up into the esophagus. So relaxing that sphincter is not what I need to do. So with chocolate, I can get away with a very small amount, but it's best not to have that after a large meal, which obviously I don't do anymore anyway, but it's best not to have chocolate after a meal, and just to have it in very, very small amounts. So I can get away with dark chocolate, and I can get away with milk chocolate and white chocolate if I want, but I don't bother, in small amounts. Mint. Now, mint is a tough one. I used to drink mint tea all day, every day, and I can't do that now, and I'm devastated because I loved it. It was my favorite tea, it was gorgeous. I really love mint. It's not good. I can get away with sort of an after 8. Or, yeah, maybe, you know, a soft mint or something, but just one occasionally would be the best I get with that. Onions and garlic. Now, life is so much better if I don't bother with onions and garlic. But again, if we go somewhere and onions or garlic are in something, that is okay. Again, I haven't bought them for a while. The same applies to sort of peppers. It's pointless because I'm not gonna feel like eating them, because I know if I do, I'll start getting symptoms again. One meal, one off, go out somewhere, that's not a problem. But for the house, it's not worth it. Now, category 3 is the things that I probably should avoid, but I can get away with on a regular basis, without any symptoms at all, to be honest. Dairy sometimes is suggested that you should avoid, but I use a low-fat milk, I eat low-fat yogurt, and even ice cream seems to be okay, again, if I have small quantities. Cheese is fine, providing I have, again, low-fat cheese. Oily fish, which you'd imagine because of the oil would cause problems, seems to be okay, and I think that's because a lot of the fats are good fats rather than bad fats. The same applies with things like avocado or nut butter or anything like that that is actually fatty, but the fat content is healthy fats rather than unhealthy fats. All seems to be okay. Cereal. I seem to be able to tolerate cereal. Some people have issues with this, I don't seem to. I can't eat it in the evening, which I used to be able to. We used to have cereal before bed, but now I need to eat it in the morning. I can get away with some at lunch if I need to, maybe with some yogurt sometimes, but it is best if I leave it to a breakfast. In the evening, yeah, that is not worth it. Now there is one thing that it's recommended that you eat, and that is banana. Now banana is one of those things that, I don't know, is pretty much easy on the insides, but I find this particular food causes me problems. Now I didn't know this, but I was using banana a lot about this time last year, and say 6 months before that, I was using it to make ice cream. I was using it to make sort of oat cakes, banana bread. I was eating a lot of banana, and I found that when my symptoms were my worst, I'd have a banana thinking that was a good thing to put into my body, and then I'd find that those symptoms got worse again. And it took me a while to clock onto this, but we actually made some baked cinnamon bananas and they were delicious. But as soon as I ate it, I could feel the symptoms immediately. So I haven't had banana for at least 6 months, probably more. It's one of those things I'm afraid to try again now, just in case the symptoms come back not so good. So that is basically it. That is the foods that I avoid. In theory, I can get away with anything that's not too fatty, not too acidic, and not too indulgent. But the main thing for me has been finding replacements for what I absolutely love. And just knowing how much you can get away with and how much you can eat and when you can eat it, so that you can manage your symptoms and not get those symptoms but still eat the things that you love. It is an entire roller coaster ride of learning what your body can tolerate, learning how much and when, and what things work for you, because everybody has differences. Everybody's gut will tolerate completely different things. But yeah, that is what I can't eat. In future videos, I'll cover what I can eat, the recipes and things that I've come up with to sort of replace the things I can't eat, and yeah, how I get on every day. I'll also be doing a few videos of what I eat in a day to show you guys, yeah, what I eat in a day, obviously. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to say hi down in the comments, give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button, and don't forget to tune in this time next week for another video. If you have suggestions or questions, again, leave me messages down below. And don't forget to check out my other videos. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy, and enjoy. Bye.